I am coming to you reading chapter 2, and I happen to have my son sleeping here. It's his nap time, and he just wanted mom to hold him today, so he gets to snuggle and listen to my story too. All right, chapter 2. Fire is not funny. It was a bummer that we couldn't eat Emily's birthday cake, but something even worse happened the next morning. We had an assembly. Ugh. Assemblies are boring. Our principal, Mr. Klutz, was up on the stage. He has no hair at all. I mean, none. If you closed your eyes and put one hand on Mr. Klutz's head and the other hand on a honeydew, you'd never be able to tell which one was the head and which was the melon. You'd probably want to eat his head. Mr. Klutz was wearing a t-shirt that said Riot on the front. On the back it said, Reading is our thing. Everybody was chit-chatting as usual, so Mr. Klutz made a peace sign, which means, shut up. We all stopped talking. There was a little incident in one of our classrooms yesterday, he announced. It was a fire. Mr. Cooper was able to put it out. But if we hadn't acted quickly, the fire could have gotten out of control. Can you imagine if our school had burned down? In my head, I imagined the school burning down. I imagined fire trucks in the street. I imagined flames and smoke everywhere. I imagined kids and teachers jumping out the windows. I imagined them landing on trampolines and bouncing back up to the windows. Trampolines are cool. They should have trampolines in our class instead of desks. Or maybe the whole floor could be one big trampoline. Oh. Imagining weird stuff is fun. Okay, that's true. I went back to imagining that the school was burning down. No more school, I shouted, jumping up from my seat. No more school. No more school. I figured everybody was going to jump up from their seats and start chanting no more school with me. I looked around. Nobody else was standing. Nobody else was chanting. Everybody was looking at me. I hate when that happens. I sat back down in my seat. It was embarrassing. I wanted to go to Antarctica and live with the penguins. Because of the fire, said Mr. Klutz, I invited a firefighter from the local station to come and talk to us about fire safety. Ooh, we all went, because firefighters are cool. Suddenly, lights started flashing. Sirens started screaming. A lady came out from behind the curtain. She was wearing a bright yellow raincoat and a red fire hat. She was holding an axe in her hand. Axes are cool, but I don't know why she was carrying one. Hitting a fire with an axe wouldn't be a good way to put it out, if you ask me. There she is. There's their principal, right there. See? Head looks like a melon. You should spray water on a fire or throw dirt on it. One time, my family went on a camping trip, and my dad said I could pee on our campfire to put it out. That was cool. Peeing on fires is fun. Now, remember, that little asterisk there means that we have a footnote, so we go down here, like feet are on the bottom, and we read it, and then we jump back right up where we left off. Here it is. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm a professional. Okay? Don't try peeing in the fire at home. He's a professional. Anyway, you'll never guess in 1,000,000 years what the lady's name was, and I'm never going to tell you, and nothing you will do will make me tell you. I bet you're on pins and needles. If you're on pins and needles, you should get off of them and go sit on a chair or a couch or something. Sitting on pins and needles must hurt. Get it? Haha. Okay, I'll tell you. It was Mrs. Meyer. Let's give a nice round of applause for Mrs. Meyer, said Mr. Klutz. We all clapped our hands in circles. Get it? Round of applause. Thank you, said Mrs. Meyer. It will be easy to remember my name because Meyer rhymes with fire. And now we have another footnote. Also, it will be easy to remember her name because it's right there on the book cover. But I guess she didn't know that. That's funny, said Mr. Klutz. Oh, there's nothing funny about fire, said Mrs. Meyer. But when I visit schools, I always like to start off with a joke. Why do the firemen wear red suspenders? Why? We all shouted. To hold his pants up, said Mrs. Meyer. Mr. Klutz and Mrs. Meyer started laughing, even though she didn't say anything funny. I didn't get her joke. Suspenders? What are suspenders? If you want to hold your pants up, why not just wear a belt like a normal person? And if the fireman's pants keep falling all down all the time, maybe he should get smaller pants. Or he should get a new job that doesn't involve so much running around. And why are the suspenders red anyhow? Could they have been any color? I was just so confused. If you ask me, that joke wasn't funny at all. Chapter 3, The Thing That Wouldn't Die. And at this point in class, Adric would probably go, bum, bum, ba, and then Patience and a few other kids would go, no, not a cliffhanger. But it is, because we're going to stop. It's chapter 3. All right, I hope you're enjoying our story time. If you want to send me messages, a lot of kids have been doing that on Google Docs, and that works out great. I also have our Bloom's class page that you can message me on. You can always ask your parents to send an email. And I do have to give a shout out to Mr. Zachary Kyle. He is going to be writing a very cool paper about the fastest car. And Jocelyn, my dear, she is going to be working on a scary story. I love hearing what you guys are doing. Remember, if you get stuck on something or you have questions, ask your parents to email me or message me on Bloom's, or you know what, send me a Google Doc and I can try to send you something. And perhaps I'll even have to make a how-to on a math video or something to help remind you of things. So I hope you're having some fun. You've got so many cool things to do on your Chromebooks, and you've got all those cool things that we sent home. So I hope you're enjoying your time. I am missing you so much. I love y'all, and I will see you next time.